2019 Rachel here. I'll be popping up throughout the video to fill in some blanks because my filming was a bit discombobulated. So I never filmed an intro clip as to what I'm doing, what's happening, anything. I just sort of jumped straight into it. So I flew to New York to do WattCon. I was there one day before WattCon just to like sightsee and do some stuff. And then the 2 days of WattCon, and then I flew home right after WattCon because I had to be right back at work. Fun times. So this is Friday, which is the day before WattCon begins, and we are starting our day by getting ready for Kelly's surprise baby shower. And yeah, I just kind of start filling you in on what's going on. Good morning, guys. So we have started our day here at NYC. We are headed to Walgreens to start off, and then setting up a little bit of a surprise. Alright guys, well, we went down to Walgreens to find some party supplies because we are throwing a surprise, like, impromptu baby shower for Kelly and Blount. But unfortunately, we kind of had to improvise. We got some congratulations balloons that are a little deflated, a pumpkin smiling balloon, and some apple juice because they didn't have exactly what we were looking for. So we'll see. So now I'm going to go ahead and put some makeup on, and we are going to meet up with the rest of our group. Hey guys, so it's been a while since you heard from me, and that's because I got lost trying to pick up the cake because what's new? So I have the cake, just finished decorations. Everyone else went out to lunch to keep Kelly occupied. So I'm going to show you around before everyone gets here, and then of course the surprise.
Yeah. I didn't even notice the balloon. Oh, look, you even have pink pillows. Easy peasy. Thank you guys. I love you all the most. The most.
So I'm kind of really excited to cut this cake that took like 10 hours.
So we made it down to 5th Avenue, but Lizzie, Brandon, and we split off, and we are headed to M&M World because it's my favorite place here in NYC. And Lizzie, so yeah, we're really excited and gonna get some M&Ms. Alright, so Lizzie, Brandon, and I decided to go to the M&M factory. However, my phone died, and that's what I was vlogging on the whole trip because I left my camera in my car. We went to the M&M factory, and I did custom M&Ms, so I did white and orange M&Ms that just said WattCon 2018 in New York because I'm extra like that. And then Lizzie got some M&Ms, and then we went over to meet up with the rest of basically this whole Wattpad group. Christy organized this meetup at a bar called Fiddler something. So a bunch of us met up, and that's where I finally got to charge my phone, and I got a little bit of footage.
Gavin, get in it.
guys, well, we just finished up meeting up with a bunch of people from Wattpad, and I'm walking back to the Airbnb with Ariana to call it a night. Tomorrow starts WattCon day 1. It's a 2-day event. And yeah, we're gonna have a great time, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. So we are running just a little late and it's currently raining, but 9:01. But we have finally left our apartment and are headed to WattCon. Yeah, here we go.
The difference in how quickly people were reading it and commenting on it and messaging me, it was really significant. I was like, this is something that people are really fascinated with. So fast forward a couple of years, we found out that it was going to be made into a series, and I live in Los Angeles, everything in LA related to entertainment takes forever. Like any show that you see on TV, it's not like somebody was like, what a great idea, NBC, let's make it, and then the next day there's a show. It takes years. But the actual process by when the show was greenlit to when it started airing 2 weeks ago on Hulu was very fast. Like,
I love reinventions. I actually think a lot of Hollywood movies rely on that over and over again. So I'm personally interested in reimagining various Gothic tropes and how they portray into the current, and they come into the current world and various things like that.
I want to see everything gender swapped. Like everything that looks like the characters look around, like that's what I was. Yes. I love retelling of anything. Like even if I can't tell it's a retelling, when you're like, that's actually my bad.
Alright, well, we just finished the first panel here at WattCon. You probably can't hear me. And we're getting ready to hear Beth's panel, Rachel's author of The Kissing Booth.
I was searching for that kind of story on Wattpad, but all the kind of big stories on there at the time were paranormal. And I knew exactly what kind of book I wanted to read. I knew what kind of characters I wanted to read about. So when I couldn't find that, I just decided to write it. And at that point, I thought, well, I'll start sharing it on Wattpad. Maybe someone will like it. I didn't expect like the number of people to like it that they did, but I'm not complaining.
That is so important. That's something that sort of genesis story is something that we hear from a lot of you, and that is so important to us in Hollywood, because I think like you're saying, the business can be reactive, and once there's one hit, people try to recreate that exact thing, but often the next Kissing Booth will not be exactly the Kissing Booth. It will be something different, and I think Wattpad has become really good at predicting that next thing that we didn't know we wanted, that no one was looking for yet, but someone out there had a story that they had to tell, and we're not seeing it told anywhere else, and we find it and bring it to the screen.
Yeah. So we have taken a break for lunch here at WattCon, so we have a crew around here. And now we are going to eat some food before we dive back in.
Branding and personal branding, it's the persona that you're putting out there. It's what you want your readers to get out of you. You look at a celebrity or something like that online, you feel like you connect to them, and I feel like a personal brand is that. How do you want your readers to connect with you? How do you want to relate to them, and what do you want them to get out of your presence online?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say it's like how I'm perceived online and what I do to make myself recognizable so that people know who I am across multiple platforms.
I think the key is about, like, if someone says a name, they automatically associate something with that name.
And above and beyond what you just shared, do you think there's a specific reason why authors should spend time sort of cultivating and building their personal brand?
From a marketing perspective, when you really cultivate your personal brand, you're not just engaging with like a reader at one point of sale. You're building a relationship that's going to last over the course of your career as an author. So when your first book comes out, that's great and good. Who knows how many copies you're going to sell? You could sell a lot, you could sell a few, but that doesn't matter, because what matters is the course of your career, and your brand is what's going to it's the ship that's going to carry you forward across your second, third, fifth, 10th book.
Amazing. So I'm going to jump right in and kind of get down to the nitty gritty. So how has writing fanfic helped you grow as a writer?
Well, I think that everything that I want to do as a writer is really fanfic related. Not to say that I could never write something that was quote unquote original, but most of what I care about doing as a writer is interacting with genres or with other people's stories or commenting on them, right? Like if I want to write a romance, part of the reason I want to write that is because I've read a lot of other romances and I want to say something about other romances that I've read, right? And for me, fanfiction is part of that as well. And being part of the fanfiction community has obviously helped me have people read my writing and be interested in it and give feedback in a way that purely original writing doesn't always give you that same community, right? There's a lot of other things I value about it too, but for me, that's the center of it, right? I write in order to be in conversation with a bigger group of people thinking about the same ideas as me. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's definitely something that's still a little hands-off about fan fiction in the public. I mean, the way that I experience is that as a Wattpad star, Wattpad is looking for ways to do stuff with my writing, give me opportunities to speak, and the opportunities to do branded content. Well, one of the things that Wattpad will do is if you have a good story that they're excited about, is pitch it to brands and try to sort of help you sell it. And that doesn't happen for my books. There's Wattpad's not actively trying to sell Kim Kardashian fanfiction to somebody because Kim Kardashian's not buying it. So definitely there's sort of a way in which it's less saleable. It's sort of more insular. That's I'm fine with that. I'm still writing fan fiction. I'm good. I have my own sort of goals in writing and all that kind of stuff. And that's fine. But it's definitely still a thing that if you don't experience in fantasy or romance or something.
That is a wrap on day one of WattCon. So yeah, we're actually going to stay and see a screening of Flight of a Feather, the first 2 episodes on Hulu, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Alright guys, well we finished dinner at TGI Fridays, and now we are headed back to the apartment to watch the rest of Flight as a Feather. So yeah. And look for liquor. I don't know where I'm going. So we just finished up our night. We binge watched the rest of Light as a Feather in the Airbnb, and I got some thoughts. Me and Lizzie have been talking about it for a while. So yeah, we have WattCon day 2 tomorrow, and I'm gonna get some sleep before we get up and do this all again. It's close to 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm definitely gonna need some caffeine to get me through tomorrow. Good morning guys, so we got to WattCon a little bit late again this morning. Yes, we got here early and Lizzie got a free copy of the Writer's Guide to Wattpad. And yeah, so now we are getting ready to watch this panel. I'm gonna insert a couple of clips of the panel we just watched. I'll insert the name too. So my question is, what does Wattpad do to make sure that your TV show or movie is still your story, and how much does it change over the process?
Is that Rachel?
It is.
That's a tough question. When you're creating a TV show or movie, it's a partnership, right? It's a partnership between first yourself and Wattpad Studios, but then the other creative people that got brought into it. A screenwriter who's won an Emmy Award has a creative career of their own. And that net creative layer that screenwriter's bringing may well show how this is going to be a better TV show. Because the way something reads very rarely translates word for word onto the screen, especially because you're writing
250 pages of a novel and a screenplay can be 130 pages. Like something has to go in there. Sometimes you need to add a second character, you need to add a best friend because so much of your story is inner monologue. Like, inner monologue does not work great on screen for extended periods of time. So when we get into those processes, there's always a point where we all lose a little bit of control. And I think Lindsay and Eric's job is to make sure that the vision, what the audience loves, and your feedback as a writer get brought through, but it's a partnership. And so it's not an ownership. And I think that's something that every writer, whether it's in the editing process and publishing, the development process in TV, or getting a game made of your story, there's always new creative layers that get added on, and we have to respect those creative layers as much as our own.
Excellent job.
It's very stressful for me with Lindsay. She's so good at this, and
I'm judging.
Always.
I've worked for David Heyman, who's the producer of Harry Potter, and I've worked with Doug Liman, who has done numerous adaptations. Born Identity is one of the biggest ones, and what I learned from those producers and that creator director is that it's really about carrying the essence of the story, and the details are there to help guide us and figure out how we put them into film or TV show. But the most important thing that I think we all fall in love with when we're reading is the world and the journey that you go on, and being wrapped in these characters, and just the essence and the tone. So that's the most important thing that we focus on in carrying. We want to protect your story, and we also want to give it its best opportunity in life on screen. So like trusting that journey with us is also a really key factor.
And yeah, so now we're gonna watch The Keys to the Kingdom, a writer's guide to Wattpad.
Stars. At some point, one of us, all of us, at some point either did something to open the door to Wattpad, or something fell on your lap that opened the door with Wattpad. Because throughout WattCon, they talk about, well, this is a cool opportunity. We do this, we do this, we do this, we do this. But something has to happen. There has to be some catalyst for all these other pieces to fall into place after the door opens. And I think people who are trying to get to that point wonder what it was. Did you say some magic word, and then Wattpad Studio says, here's a book deal, here's a TV deal, we're gonna work with you. Was there a thing that you did, or was there an event that happened in your writing career that opened that door, that served as that catalyst? Can anybody speak to that?
I mean, for me, it wasn't one thing. It was more like a series of stair steps that got me to that point. Like the first thing was getting a fan fiction featured, and that got me to one level that I thought was pretty great, but it wasn't at the level where I would be a Wattpad star. But then from there, I just continued to work and continued to build my following, and eventually, when I got a book deal, I think Wattpad literally read about it in Publishers Weekly when it was announced, and then they were like, oh yeah, you should be in the Wattpad stars at that point. So I went out, I did it. It's something, if you want to be traditionally published, any of you can go through that querying process, try to get an agent and try to get in that way. That's what all writers do on and off Wattpad if they want to be traditionally published, and prove to Wattpad that you are for real, you are legit, like your book is on its way into the world, and then they will absolutely sit up and take notice. That's one way to get there, and that was my path.
I think definitely getting featured that first, when I was just a newbie on Wattpad was the catalyst for a lot of things, like I said before. And then I won several contests, which I think is why I got into the STAR program. They were high profile, they were with big celebrity authors, and And so then I got into that, and then I think the next thing is that I like to play with genres, so I like to kind of push myself and see if I can do a genre that is outside of my norm. I come from a speculative fiction background, but I thought, could I write a romance? You know, could I? And not sneak in too many, like, you know, speculative elements. I did sneak in robots, but it's not sci-fi, but I did sneak them in a little bit. And so I did that. I just was curious how that experience would be on Wattpad and how it would differ, and it was crazy. Writing a romance on Wattpad was crazy. It was great, but that led to a lot of things as well, because that's really what built up my follower base, and you know, led to like getting an excerpt in Cosmopolitan and Thought Catalog, and you know, other opportunities that came along. And I do have an agent that is interested, but I'm rewriting currently for her, so we'll see where it goes. But I think, yeah, just a multi-step. It's not one thing that just triggered it for me. It's just a long process and a lot of work.
Yeah, I agree. I think that too many writers out there sort of look for this like magic, like there's like some secret that we all know, but like the truth is it's just like a lot of hard work. It's a lot of practice. It's a lot of trying to learn how to like make your writing better, like taking classes or reading books or having critique partners, like being on Wattpad and engaging with the community. So I think that, you know, in a lot of ways I felt like the last year I didn't really have a social media presence. I didn't really I didn't really do anything besides write the story and let the readers come to me. And I think that like if you can write a great story that sort of can cover like a multitude of like social media sins of not having, you know, not trying to like bring people to you. Like I think the most important thing is, you know, investing in your story and investing in your writing. And that's going to be, you know, that's like the basis you have to build off of. And I think that's kind of how I've tried to approach Wattpad, is bringing, you know, the best writing I can there, and always trying to make the next chapter better than the chapter that you know, was before. Yeah, and there's just like so many good resources. Like this book is a great resource for, you know, how to continue just building your writing and building your Wattpad presence.
Yeah, like she said, there's no secret door. For me, there was one thing. It was like, I'm a social media addict, sorry. I was always interacting with my readers like all majority of my day when I lived out of the country. And I was doing it on various social media accounts. And that interaction with my fans became a connection. And that connection, I was just like, my fans became my friends, and we became a big Wattpad family. So anyways, they felt comfortable coming to me, and they felt comfortable recommending people to come to me. And this turned inspirational for Wattpad because they were noticing it too. That kind of brought the fan base to me, like, oh, Jaquela's very comforting, or like that. So this interaction and connection with the fans just made it seem like I was just some person that they could go to, and started coming to me. And Wattpad saw that, and they appreciated it.
Maybe there's multiple magic doors.
Yeah, there's not
It's a series of doors.
Yes. Yeah. When I started out, I started making them by myself, and I started using Canva.com. People don't realize when they first make Wattpad, a person kind of is mostly attracted to your cover. Your cover, you want your cover to stand out. And a lot of people, when they start, don't use a title or their username on the cover. It just looks prettier. They just use like a blurry image of I don't know what. But yeah, Canva.com is a really good website. I also suggest don't use Google Images. Go to those websites that are like free. Go to Google, type in free images and HQ, and you'll get websites with a lot of free images you can download. You can also use Fiverr if you want to pay $6 for a great cover. That's what I use now. Most of my covers are made from Fiverr. I don't make mine anymore, but I still make covers for other people.
I just want to jump in one more thing. That point about the Google Images one is a really good one.
That's very
because
important.
on Wattpad, I mean, there just are. If you see them, you'll know what they are. They're covers that it's very unlikely that some of these people got permission to use licensed characters on their book covers, which if you ever made it into a publishing contract would not fly for 1 minute.
The librarian on the panel says do not use images that are not yours. Okay.
But how much do you have to, in Jaquela's chapter in the book is how to make a cover for your Wattpad story for about the cost of lunch. So, kind of that level of stuff. When you find an image at one of these free sites, you have to think that a lot of other writers on Wattpad are using the same images. And when you're trying to make your book stand out, that can be a detriment. So how do you, Jaquela, make covers that stand out, even if those images are being used by other writers?
Yeah, I don't like to have the same covers that everyone else have. You often see that on Wattpad, people with the same covers as the other person. And I think when you go on these free images website, you can find a good image. And when you take it to Canva and want to edit this, you can crop out one side, crop out another side, crop it up, down. You can also change the color of it, black and white. You can even add small free images. That's the thing I love about Canva is that they give you like some I think it's not layouts. Almost like stickers that you can put on the book cover. So if you have a haunted house, you can put a sticker of a ghost next to it, and it's no longer the image you found on the free website.
What about you, Hannah?
Oh my gosh. Well, I paid for someone that I found on Wattpad to make covers for The Last She, because I'm not gifted that way. But there's like the multimedia club. There's people who make covers in there, right?
Point, but I wanted to kind of ask, just to jump right in, what initially drew you to wanting to write YA or tackling kind of teen fiction? Where did you find your inspiration for your stories? Anyone can take it.
So for me, it was an age-based thing. I've been writing since I was really young, but when I wrote My Life with the Walter Boys, it was YA because I was a teenager. So.
Yeah, that was the same for me. I started writing, I think I was like 11 or 12, and I was just writing what my reality was. And it was, I mean, I still kind of do that, even though I'm clearly not a teenager anymore, but
yeah, I think we all write from a pretty personal place.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the same for me. I kind of started when I was 15, so I was basically the target audience. It was what I read, so it was what I wrote as well. But even now, I'm significantly older. It's still what I like to read, so I've basically just carried on.
Yeah, I started writing for Wattpad when I was like 20, thereabouts. I think it was mainly because I'm just a big 80s movie fan. So like I kind of, I really like John Hughes. Yeah. So it's kind of like what I like to see.
So you kind of wrote the kind of story that you would want to see in the world. Yeah, that's cool. So what kinds of YA stories have inspired your work, whether it's a story on Wattpad or a story off of Wattpad? I know you all have a lot of different muses, so talk to me a little bit about that.
So two big ones I can think of off the top of my head. Movies, I'm a movie person. For Enchilada Ed, I really wanted to do like a say anything for the internet age.
I love that.
And for the Van Pack that I wrote, I want to do a kind of like a gender bend Ferris Bueller, because that's my favorite movie ever, Ferris Bueller, I love it. So those would be, like, again, I'm saying 80s movies, but those are my two.
Alex, who's your inspo?
Rainbow Rowell. I love her so much.
Fantastic.
I also, I mean, all three of these ladies on the couch, I've read their stuff, and it's amazing. And I'm gonna be the suck up that says it, but it's really true.
Are books that deal with and explore themes like racism, feminism, mental health, sexuality. Like these are themes that's not fluff. And to say that young adult is strictly fluff, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's basically what I write. But I think it belittles the experience of being a teen.
For sure, and I mean, I think we all firmly believe that YA is a legitimate genre in and of itself, and that, and I think I think it's getting better, the perception issue, but I do still see sometimes, oh, it's cliche, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. So how do you work either within cliches, or how do you deviate from cliches within your stories? Or what are your favorite tropes? Because I love tropes.
I guess what I think about my policy is that if your characters seem like they could exist in the real world, even as really strange people, you're doing okay. Like, it works. So if there's some cliche in there, there's some cliche in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, this kind of takes me back to like way back when on Wattpad when you used to kind of like read for reads, like you used to like exchange feedback. And I think this is too cliche. It was like the go-to criticism for if they didn't have anything else to say really, and it used to frustrate me endlessly to the point where I even put a disclaimer. I think it's still on there on Friendship with them. It's like, please do not call this story cliche. If you read on, you'll know I've tried to make it original. It's a bit angry. But over time, I've kind of come to realise it's a bit of an empty criticism, because I don't think it really matters if it's cliche. There's so many other things that make a story great, like the characters, the plot, the quality of the writing, and a cliche story can be an amazing one. So I don't think you should like try and steer away from it at all costs.
I mean, if you break down every story to its like fundamental elements, like you're gonna find cliches. But I think what lends authenticity is how much realism you put into it. And I know that sounds like it is an oversimplification, but everything is a cliche.
Because when you start writing and you're young, and then all of a sudden you have people reading your work and telling you, wow, this is really good, it can easily get to your head and be like, oh, I'm a really good writer. And then you show up in like your college creative writing class and your professor's like, what are you doing? Like, a period goes at the end of the sentence. No, not really. But I feel like Wattpad is such a positive community that it felt safe to stumble and then learn from those mistakes, versus in the academic setting where like my professors scared the crap out of me. And I walked out of many a class like crying because I had been like ripped to shreds in front of the entire class. Like Wattpad is just so positive, it's easy to learn.
So we come to nearly the end of the day, and I could feel myself starting to get emotional kind of standing there. That's why I'm sitting beside Nick, because I know he's going to comfort me. But I just wanted to say that thank you to our partners and our sponsors, Fictionary and Microsoft. It's been amazing getting to work with you, and I hope you guys have had a really cool experience interacting with Zoe in the Inspiration Room, and exploring Fictionary and figuring out how that can help your writing. I also want to thank everyone that has made this possible. Abby and Amy, again, you guys are absolute superstars. To the content and creator team, to all of our moderators, and all of our staff here as well, that were able to make it out and make this possible. I also want to thank the ambassadors, Gab and the ambassador team, for helping us. And I also want to thank all of our live stream viewers that did tune in, or anyone that will watch this post-WattCon. We hope you got a lot of value out of this. We can't wait to create some more content from what we've learned here at WattCon and share that with you. And lastly, but certainly not least, I really wanted to thank you, our writers. This could not have happened without you. You're absolutely the lifeblood of this Wattpad ecosystem. I'm so inspired and humbled and motivated by all of you. And you mean the absolute world to me. I need you to keep sharing your stories. Your stories are so important, your voices matter. And I want to continue to tell those stories for the world, because the world needs to hear them. I hope you really had an amazing time. Again, the theme of WattCon was transformation, and I hope you leave here with a new piece of knowledge, a new friend, a new story idea that you can write. And again, I really just wanted to say, again, your stories matter. By coming here, you made yourselves vulnerable, you put yourselves out there just like you do every day on Wattpad, and I'm so proud of you for that. So again, thank you all for joining us. We are going to be having our meet and greet and book signing at 2:30 to 5:30. But before that, I'm going to hand the mic over once more to Mr. Alan Lau to close down the house and talk to you about his master plan.
Thank you so much for coming here for the last 2 days. It was amazing. It was life-changing. Thanks for the liquor. It's amazing. It's life-changing. Thank you so much to be part of this. Not only for those a few hundred people sitting inside the room, but there were tens of thousands of people, perhaps even more, watching the live stream and be part of it. This is not a closed-door conference. It's an open-door conference for anyone around the world to watch. So first of all, thank you so much to be part of this. And Wattpad is one of the most positive and supportive community in the world. We cannot build this community without you and your participation. And thank you so much to help us entertain, connect world through stories. And one of the themes in this conference this year is writerpreneur. And this is WattCon as our commitment to you is to prove to you that we are investing more in this area. Regardless of the stage of your journey, whether you're still an amateurish writer or already a professional writer getting published, or your story has turned into TV shows and movies, we really want to try our best, make the best effort to help you along each and every single stage of your journey. And as we continue to evolve, we will continue to transform the industry to help everyone, as many writers as possible, to be able to participate in publishing and entertainment to fulfill your dreams. So we talked about the master plan a few times. As I mentioned, you can share, you can read that by just Google it. It's on our company blog, and if you just Google it, Wattpad Master Plan NLM, you'll be able to find it. So there are 4 elements of the master plan, as we alluded to earlier, so I'm not going to skip the detail, but I do want to highlight each and every single one of them to let you know how you are already part of the master plan and how you're helping not just Wattpad, not just yourself, but also helping the publishing and entertainment industry to transform. So first element, discover more great stories. Look at the numbers. This year, Watty's 362,000 entries. This is by far the world's largest writing contest, online or offline. This is by far the #1 in terms of submissions by a wide margin. How did it happen? Thank you. Let's keep up with it. Thank you. Second element, adapt more stories off platform. We talked about this a million times in the last 2 days, right? Netflix, Hulu shows, Light as a Feather, hundreds of books, if not thousands of books already published around the world. We want to up that number. We want to make sure there are as many TV shows, as many movies, as many published books. Ideally, hopefully in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, all and every single one of the Netflix shows that you watch would be coming from Wattpad. Number 3, create new forms of entertainment. We talk about TAB quite extensively in this conference, but many of you may not know, a lot of the writers on Wattpad, they are helping TAB to create original content on TAB. Many of you are participating as well. So thank you. Reward Wattpad storytellers. That's the 4th and the last element on the master plan. So Wattpad Next, we launched the beta in the UK, Canada, Mexico, and Philippines 3 weeks ago is doing way better than we can possibly dream of. So thank you so much for participation. This is another example of our commitment to you. It doesn't matter which stage of your writing career is, we want to help you. And this is another element that we want to do, is to monetize, to help writers make money on platform so that you can be financially rewarded as well. So this is still very early days, but we have many new things coming on our platform in the next few weeks and months and years. And this is very important to us. We know that for writers, for some writers, making money is very important to you financially, and we know that. We heard this loud and clear, and we are going to invest more in this area to help you advance your career as well. But one more thing is I want to say one more time, thank you so much for coming to WattCon. Without you, we wouldn't be here. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, and see you next time.
And then per usual, I didn't end my vlog because I never do. So that is a wrap on WattCon. As soon as the book signing was over, I went and had dinner, but I had to leave dinner early to make it to the airport and then flew directly home and crashed out. That's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment what your favorite moment from WattCon was if you were there, and if not, what looks like your favorite moment. And I'll link in the description the video that Wattpad did. It's much better quality than what I filmed, and they have all the panels in the main ballroom, like the main area. So you guys can definitely check that out. And major shout out to Samantha for putting this whole thing together. You're awesome, amazing, loved it, and I will see you guys another day. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Are you gonna blow up Rachel?
I am. I have to finish.
You can't even hold your phone. Hey, Alyssa, you notice that breath dude?
All right, guys. Well,
Is this for your YouTube? I'm gonna watch it, so make it good.
All right.